going to start our new chapter of class 6. Okay, the name of the chapter is the living organism and the surrounding. In this chapter we are going to learn about the habitats of the living organism and how this living organism adapt themselves to survive in such habitats. Okay, so now shall we move forward? In the very first slide, the definition of the habitat is given. The habitat is nothing but the area where a living organism lives. Okay, so the region or the place where an organism lives is termed as habitat. Okay, a habitat provides organism everything which is required for the survival of the organism. Okay, such as food, shelter, and every nutrient and everything which is required by the organism for the nourishment. Okay, so it provides it is the habitat must be the proper climatic condition also, which is according to the living organism, which provide the essential conditions such as rainfall, heat, etc., which is required for organism to breed and flourish. Okay, so habitat is nothing but the area where an organism live, survive, and that breed. Okay, now next, habitat can be divided broadly into two categories. First one is terrestrial and second one is aquatic. Terrestrial is nothing but land and aquatic is nothing but water. Okay, so broadly we can divide the habitat in two types. Okay, so habitat which we have discussed is nothing but the surrounding where plant and animal. Plant and animal comprise all the living organism on the earth. So where the plant and animal live, the place is called as habitat. Okay, so the very first place or the habitat is terrestrial, and then terrestrial can be further subdivided into few categories. First one is desert, second one is mountain, and third one is grassland. Okay, so very first the desert one. Desert plant either have leaves or they have small spine shaped leaves to reduce the transpiration. All the organism, whether it is that plant or animal, they have to adapt themselves. They have to change their body structure according to the habitat. As we know that the desert area receive low rainfall, so the plant and the animal have to change their body in according to that habitat. So the plant reduce the leaf size so that there will be less transpiration and less loss of water. And in the same way, the animals also change their body type in according to desert area. In the same way, mountain regions, the animals which are present in mountain are yak, snow leopard, etc. And trees are pine tree and coniferous trees, etc. Okay. Next is grassland. Example of grassland animal is lion, deer. Okay. And the fauna which is flora present in grassland area is the grass or the shrubs. Okay. Now our next habitat, that is aquatic habitat. It can be divided into two subcategories. First one is ocean, okay, and next one is pond and lakes. And we will study about the adaptation of plant and animal in next slides. Now firstly, environment. Okay, so environment is everything which is surrounding you, whether it is living or non-living. All the things which is surrounding you is your environment. Okay, and that surrounding which affect you directly or indirectly. So in this way, environment can be divided into two categories. First one is biotic, second one is abiotic. The biotic means, bio means life, so all the living things comes into this category, and abiotic means which is devoid of life, which is not having life. So all the non-living thing comes under this categories. Okay, so biotic component can be divided broadly into two categories, but I have given one more category, microorganism also. Okay, so biotic component can be divided into three categories: plants, animals, and microorganism. Next one is abiotic component. All the non-living thing which is affecting you directly or indirectly in your life are abiotic component. For example, light. Light is required by green plant to make the food, photosynthesis. Temperature. Temperature and light are that depend on each other though, but this is another category. Then water, soil and air. All these components affect your life directly or indirectly, but there are more living, that's why they are under the category of abiotic components. So these two components are the component of environment, your surrounding. Okay. Now we will deal with all the biotic and abiotic components one by one. First one is all the living things in the ecosystem such as plant and animal. These living things are actually interact with each other in the form of food chain, food web, etc. And that's how they affect all the living things together. Okay. Now biotic factor and their interaction can be broken down into three categories. Okay, in this category we will learn about the biotic factor and their interaction. These are the interaction of biotic factor only, living things only. So very first is producers, and all these biotic factor are linked by either food chain or food web. Okay, so first one is producer. As the name suggests, they are the one which produce all the food. Okay, on our planet, all the food is produced by producers, and we are dependent on this producer directly or indirectly. Okay, so all the plants such as grass and trees all are known as producers because of the presence of green pigment chlorophyll. They are the only one that can produce their food. That's why they are known as producer. Okay, these organisms absorb the sun energy, sunlight, and convert the energy into food. They convert the sun energy, sunlight, into food by the process photosynthesis. Okay, for themselves, allowing them to grow larger and make flower and seed. Okay. So the second category is consumer. So as the name suggests, consumer are the ones which consume the food. Okay. This organism, mostly animals, eat producers directly or indirectly. So consumer can be divided into two categories. First one is herbivores, second one is carnivores. As the name suggests, herbivores feed a producer directly, and carnivores depend on the producer indirectly because they feed on herbivores which ultimately feed on producer. Okay. So the third category is decomposers. Okay. So decomposers are the organisms which break down the material which is organic. Organic means which have the life. For example, plants and animals, dead and decay plant and animals, they feed on these things. Okay, into soil and return the nutrient back to the soil. They are very important because they return the nutrient back to the soil. Okay, so they can be reused by producer and they create food. So they are the link between the consumer and the producer. Okay, example of decomposers are mushroom or the fungi. Next one are abiotic factors. First abiotic factor is light. Plants need light to prepare the food, and sunlight is the ultimate source of the light on our planet Earth. Okay, so this sunlight is consumed by green plant to produce the food. So now next one is temperature. All the living organism depends on temperature for their growth, movement, reproduction, morphology, etc. Okay. Next is water. As we know that we are 70% of the water, so our life depends on the water. Water is very important abiotic factor. It is often said that water is life. Okay. So all the living organisms need water for growth, for their survival. Okay, even plants that live in desert, they also require water. Okay, so life is not possible without water. So this is the most important abiotic factor. Next one is soil. Okay, soil is considered as a abiotic factor since it is mostly made up of small particle of rock. Okay, the plant, the producer of the earth, they depend on soil for their growth. They are not able to grow without the soil. So this one is also very important abiotic factor. Next is oxygen, or we can say that all the air. But oxygen is the most important air because we need this oxygen for our breathing, for our respiration. Okay, another important abiotic factor mainly for living organism. Life is not possible without oxygen. Without oxygen, humans would not be able to live. Okay, and carbon dioxide is needed by the plant for the same in the same way. Okay, the interaction between oxygen and carbon dioxide makes the life possible on earth. Now all these that biotic and abiotic factors interact with each other. For example, climatic factors such as light, temperature and water, they are needed by plant for growth, for reproduction, for their morphology, etc. Okay, and in the same way they are also needed by the animals. Okay, animals adapt themselves according to the climatic condition, and in the same way the plant depend on all the soil factor, soil nutrient and everything for their growth and photosynthesis, and animals depend on plant for their food. So all the biotic and abiotic factors interact with each other and make the life possible on earth. So students, this was the part 1 of this chapter, and in the part 2 we will discuss some more topics.